Happy weekend. Welcome to BNCB Newspaper Review, another edition of this program. Here with me, I have to put in the newspaper, The Nation and The Tribune. So the first is The Nation. The first story of The Nation, we have the Abntv plead not guilty as corruption trials begin February 12. Ibadan explosion, more body parts recovered. Supreme Court dashes PDP's hope in Ogun, Kaduna, Nasarawa. Police arrest Abuja kidnapper. Hotel managers dies of heart attack. Says of lucky escape as victims. Now to the few details of the story of the newspaper. Abntv plead not guilty as corruption forgery trials begins February 12. The immediate past Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Governor Godwin Abntv yesterday pleaded not guilty to the amended 20-count charge of criminal breach acts of trust, forgery, conspiracy to obtain by false pretense and obtaining money by false pretense preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). FCT High Court, which is trying him, granted the plea of Abntv legal team to be allowed to continue to enjoy the bail condition earlier granted him by the court. Justice Hamza Muazi fixed commencement of proceeding in the trial for February 12. The former CBN governor was initially arraigned on November 17, 2023 on a 6-count charge of leveraging his position to bestow corrupt advantages upon his staff members, Sadisu Ramud Yaro. He was granted bail on the sum of 300 million and 2 services in large sum of November 22, 2023. Abntv plead not guilty as the corruption forgery trials begin February 12. The few details of this story is in page 2 of the Nigerian Nation. Another story of this in Nigerian Nation, we have the Ibadan explosion. More body parts recovered as hotel manager dies of heart attack. Ibadan explosion. More body parts recovered as hotel manager dies of heart attack. More body parts were yesterday recovered at the scenes of Tuesday explosion of Old Bodija, Ibadan. The incident manager, Prof. Temitope Alonge, made the disclosure in an interview with The Nation. Alonge said the parts had been sent to forensic experts for analysis. He said it could not be confirmed yet if the recovered parts belong to the fatalities recovered already or a new one. Thereby allaying fears of increased fatalities. He ruled out the possibility of recovering more fatalities, noting that search and rescue efforts had entered day 4 with the ground zero almost leveled. Alonge said it is a good news and bad news. The good news is that every patient has been accounted for. About 27 patients were seen at the J. Rafa Hospital, and all of them have been discharged, which is good. At the Redeemer Hospital as well, I think we have only 6 people left. There is no person left in Transit Hospital. The other people had been discharged. We will go to the other hospital where there are victims and we are ensured things will be improved. That is the good news. Ibadan explosion, more body parts recovered as hotel manager dies of heart attack. The full details of this story is in page 3 of the Nigerian Nation. Another news story in this Nigerian Nation. Supreme Court dashes PDP hopes in Ogun, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. Hopes by the People's Democratic Party PDP of regaining combinational power in Ogun, Kaduna, Nasarawa, Kebbi, and Gombe states ended up in theaters yesterday after the Supreme Court dismissed claims by the party's candidates of winning last March election in those states. A similar appeal by the All Progressive Congress (APC) in respect of Delta State was also thrown out by the Apex Court. It upheld the elections of Governor Dapo Abiodun Ogun, Abia Sani Kaduna, and Abdullahi Sule. But the decision of the court did not go down well with some PDP supporters in Nasarawa State. We took to the streets in the capital last year burning tires. The Supreme Court, in deciding the 14 appeals filed in relation to the governorship elections, disputes in the 6 states, added that the applicants failed to establish their claims. Supreme Court dashes PDP's hopes in Ogun, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. The full details of this story is in page 4 of the Nigerian Nation. Another news story inside the story of the Nigerian Nation, Abuja kidnapper. A suspected notorious Abuja kidnapper, once Jinasa Philip, is now in custody of Federal Capital Territory FCT Police Command, following his arrest by police operative of the Kaduna State Police Command. This was disclosed yesterday in a statement issued by FCT Police Public Relations Officer SP Josephine Adek. The statement reads, the FCT Police Command wishes to confirm the arrest of Zinaza Philip, a notorious Abuja kidnapper by police operatives of the Kaduna State Police Command on Thursday, 18 January 2024. The suspect has been handed over to FCT Police Command today, being Friday, 19 January 2024, and currently in police custody. Meanwhile, the Defense Headquarters says troops are being intensified patrol within the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) and environs to contain the increase in kidnapping incidents. The police arrests suspected Abuja kidnappers. The full details of this story is in page 6 of the Nigerian Nation. Another story inside the Nigerian Nation of the newspaper, we have the Kano Emirates issues will be revisited once Kwankwasa vows. The disposed Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, may be on his way back to the throne. According to the hit dropped late Thursday by a former governor of Kano State, Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso, who is the good father of the governor, Abia Yusuf, said that the creation of 4 new emirates from Kano by the immediate post-administration of Dr. Abdullahi Gaduju would also be revisited. Anxiety was high in the city yesterday as news of the developments spread. The governor will review the dethronement and franchising of the emirates. Kwankwaso, who is the Yusuf father-in-law and presidential candidate of the new Nigeria Police Party (NNPP), told Select radio station in Kano. He added, the issues of Kano Emirates will definitely be reversed. Honestly, it is one of the things that nobody has sat with me to discuss so far, but I'm sure we are going to sit and see how to go about it. Kano Emirates issue will be revisited, Kwankwaso vows. The view detail of the story is in page 7 of the Nigerian Nation. And we also have another story in the Nigerian Nation. Sanwo-Olu and the pursuit of the social market economy. My discussion about the governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, must be put in the context that I met him at St. Andrew Anglican Church, Okepopo, Lagos, and that was in 2003. Under the vicarship of the then Reverend Kanu Segun Ajayi. Meeting him, I remember Sanwo-Olu as a man with a good close of woman and party. By the time I became a member of the Christian Progressive Association, CPA, of the church later that year, Sanwo-Olu and the pursuits of the social market economy. The full details of this story is in page 9 of the Nigerian Nation. Another story of inside the Nigerian Nation. Here with me. Details of a lucky escape. The building of Bodija Baptist Church and several other churches and mosques in the area were also shaken with impact to their roof, ceilings, and windows, as well as other facilities within. Banks in Bodija and Mokola survived similar fates. So were other buildings around Coca-Cola as far as Ikoloba estates in the city. Many hospitals around Bodija were littered with injured victims. It was tales of walls from the injury victims when our correspondents visited alongside the leaders of Bodija Estate Residents Association, BERA, for 84-year-old engineer Akinwale Morakinyo. Our survival was like a miracle. The explosion brought the walls of his building down on him, but he was lucky to be rescued by the people around. His house shares perimeter fence with the house where the explosion took place. The little girl that was staying with him became the angel that facilitated his rescue. He expressed surprise that his head and spine were still intact despite being under the rubble. Muraknya, who sustained a new injury in the explosion, was admitted at J. Rafa, a private hospital, as a new Bodija. Tales of lucky escape as Ibadan explosion be simply called audio. The full details of this story is in page 12 of the Nigerian Nation. Another story here with me in the Nigerian Nation. A tribe, isn't them being women doing this first? Isn't them being women doing this first comes with a lot of consequences. Veteran actress Tawo Akinwande and aka Yesunde Wunmi has shared the experience as a single mother. The suspect with over 30 years of experience said that there must more be a being separated from one husband than the tag of being single. Yesunde Wunmi being disforced comes with a lot of consequences. And lastly, here with me in the story of the Nigeria the nation. Osunba Lawa owed a private dinner for Yeye Ayetunde at 60. On Thursday, January 18, Osunba Yemi Lawa held a private dinner for his wife of 30 years, Yeye Ayetunde Lawa, as she turned 60. The celebration is coming few weeks after Osunba Lawa and his wife staged a superlative wedding ceremony for their daughter, Olayemi Afsat Lawa, and their dashing groom, Olarewaju, in Lagos, with an expressive attendance of top dignitaries across all social, political, and corporate strata. Osunba Lawa held private dinner for Yeye Ayetunde at 60. That what we have for you in the Nigerian Nation. Before we come back to another segment of this newspaper review, let's go for a break and check what we have for you for this news. Let's go.
African Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. It's all about Africa. It's all about motherland. Celebrating rich cultural heritage. ABN, we bring the best. African, it's Africa. Broadcasting Network. Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. Oh, entertainment, education. African Broadcasting Network. Oh yeah. Oh, information, cultural value. African Broadcasting Network. ABN, celebrating Africa's rich cultural heritage.
Welcome back, and I hope you enjoy what we have for you. Before I go to the next newspaper here with me, the Nigeria Tribune, I would like to pass the message to you. And if you try to watch on Abntv television on our website, www.abntvnetwork.com/TV, on our website, www.abntvnetwork.com/TV. On our social media, we have Facebook, ABNTV Austin, YouTube, ABNTV Nigeria, Twitter, ABNTV Austin, and Instagram, ABNTV Nigeria. That's what we have for you in our social media. You can watch it live and direct, and if you like to continue with this newspaper review, you can see the few details of this newspaper review on this our social media and our website. Now we go to the Nigeria Tribune. I have for me here. The first front of this Nigeria Tribune, we have the Fulani gunmen killed 2 soldiers, 2 villagers in Benin. This commences identification of all residents. May EIC Allah's security outfit invitation to anarchy. Supreme Court affirms elections of Ogun, Gombe, Delta, Kaduna, Nasarawa, KB governors. Dangote refinery begins registration of product distributors. Crisis bruises in PDP over national secretary post. We will come after you, Wike promises kidnappers. The Fourth Republic has been a disaster. Now to the full details of this story in Nigeria Tribune. Supreme Court okays elections of governors of Ogun, Nasarawa, Kebbi, Gombe, Delta, and Kaduna. The Supreme Court on Friday okayed the elections of the governors of Ogun, Kaduna, Nasarawa, Kebbi, Gombe, and Delta states. The appeals court in unanimous judgment dismissed the victorious of the governors at the appeal court, thus validating their elections. The Supreme Court have confirmed the election of Dapo Abiodun of All Progressive Congress (APC) as the governor of Ogun State. The People Democratic Party (PDP) and its candidate Ladi Adebisi had filed an appeal to challenge the outcome of March 18, 2023 governorship election held in Ogun State. Delivering the unanimous judgment of a 5-member panel of justice of the appeals court, Justice Tijani Abubakar dismissed the claim of Adebisi and his party for lacking in merits. I have carefully considered all the issues conferred by the applicants in the end. I found that this appeal is unmeritorious and ought to be dismissed. It is hereby dismissed, Justice Abubakar said. Supreme Court okays election of governors. Supreme Court okays election of governors of Ogun, Nasarawa, Kogi, Gombe, Delta, and Kaduna. The full details of this story is in page 3 of the Nigeria Tribune. Another story here with me in the Nigeria Tribune. Asa men's Tuesday blast Ibadan Bodija estates. Why the Oyo State government receiving apologies for being proactive in the face of Tuesday explosion disaster in Ibadan? Residents of Bodija Estates, under the auspices of Bodija Estate Residents Association (BERA), have commenced enumerations of all persons living in the estate. Speaking through his chairman, Pastor Muyiwa Bandoshi, during his visit to some of the victims of the explosion in hospital, where they were receiving treatment on Thursday, the association said the move became necessary to prevent a repeat of the disaster. Bangboshe said the residents were organizing themselves and putting security in place to forestall a recurrence. Noting that while Bodija is a law-sensitive and minding your business area, residents have embarked on a Know Your Neighbor drive. We want to know who is who. There was a meeting yesterday and who asked that they allow us to scrutinize ourselves. We go through the communities to find out who is where. What is he, she doing? What are you going to harass anybody? Most people here are responsible people who are being in responsive position. After Tuesday blast Ibadan Bodija Estate, the full details of this story is in page 4 of the Nigeria Tribune. Here with me in another story of the Nigeria Tribune. Alleged corruption. Emefiele kicks against EFCC 20 counts amended charge. On basis former Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) Governor Godwin Emefiele on Friday kicked against the first amended charge prevailed against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Before the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT), Emefiele is being prosecuted by the Anti-Corruption Commission on behalf of the federal government before Justice Amsa Mwanzu sitting at Motani, Abuja. EFCC had on November 17, 2023 arraigned Emefiele before the court on a 6-count charge bordering on conferring advantages on a female staff member (CBN). Contrary to the provision of the Section 19 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Office Offences Act 2000, alleged corruption, Emefiele kicks against EFCC's 20 counts amended charge. The full details of this story is in page 5 of the Nigeria Tribune. Here with me in this newspaper, Nigeria Tribune, another story of this. We have the Fulani gunmen killed 2 soldiers. Gunmen suspected to be armed elders have killed 4 people, among them 2 soldiers in a renewed attack on some communities in Agatu local government areas of Benue State. A soldier is reportedly missing during the attack. One of the leaders in the local government told our correspondents the armed riders were said to have attacked some communities, which include Abugbe, Akolo, Igbaju. The two political leaders from the council area confirmed the attack and killing of people in a telephone interview with newsmen on Friday. A lawmaker representing Agatu State constituency, Godwill Ado, confirmed the attack on Agatu communities, added that 2 villagers were killed. He said, yes, the attack was from Esma. It happened yesterday, Thursday. Fulani gunmen killed 2 soldiers, 2 villagers in Benue. The full details of this story is in page 6 of the Nigeria Tribune. Here with me in another story of this Nigeria Tribune, we have the ex-lawmaker commend federal government as NCC puts disconnection of global com by MCN Nigeria on hold for 21 days. A former member of the Senate, Ben Mura Bruce, has commended the federal government for intervening in misunderstanding between MCN and Globalcom Nigeria, thereby putting the phased disconnection on hold for a period of 21 days from 17 January 2024. On January 8, 2024, the Nigeria Communication Commission published a pre-disconnection notice informing the subscribers of approval granted to MCN, Nigeria Communication PLC, MCN, to commence a phased disconnection of Global Limited, GLO, with effect from January 18, 2024. Due to long-standing interconnection, debt disputes between the parties. In granting the approval, the Commission said it was deeply concerned impact of the decision on consumers and thereby continue to engage both parties to facilitate a resolution which prioritizes and protects customer interests and seamless operation of the national telecoms network. Ex-lawmaker commend federal government as NCC puts disconnection of global by MCN Nigeria on hold for 21 days. The full details of this story is in page 7 of the Nigeria Tribune. Here with me in the Nigeria Tribune. Here with me in another story of the Nigeria Tribune. Ibadan explosion proved federal government has wrecked Nigeria for decades. On Tuesday this week, in yet another tragedy that speaks to Nigeria's dysfunction, foreign criminals enabled by the federal government set Bodija, a high-class area in Ibadan, Oyo State, on fire. The explosion caused by the outlaws left 100 homeless, 77 people injured and 5 people dead. Although frantic searches for bodies are still on, the explosion occurred at Deji Oyelesi Street, Adeye Avenue, Bodija, and their effects were felt as far as Olugun Eru. As Governor Makinde indicated, the configuration was the handwork of illegal miners who had stored explosives in residential areas. The miners are notorious for terrorizing residents using Nigeria uniform services. There was a fire outbreak before the explosion, said reports, and the outlaws ran out of the houses with their families before the areas were buried. For Nigeria, all of this sound early rotten on January 27, 2002. Lagos, Nigeria economic capital, erupted in thick smoke as a large stocks of explosives, accidentally denoted as a storage facility in the Ikeja continent. Buildings in noted as a storage facility in Ikeja continent. Ibadan explosion proves federal government has wrecked Nigeria for decades. The full details of this story is in page 11 of the Nigeria Tribune. Another story here with me in the Nigeria Tribune. Protests in Nasarawa over Supreme Court verdicts upholding upholding Suleiman elections. Pandemonium broke out in Nasarawa State on Friday as members of the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP) staged a protest against the Supreme Court ruling which upheld the election of Governor Abdullahi Sule. Shortly after the Supreme Court ruling which upheld the election of Abdullahi Sule of the APC supporters of the People's Democratic Party candidates in elections, David Amabagudu blocked the Lafia Jos Road of the state to express their dissatisfaction with the bandits. The protest later led to blockade of road and burning of tires, resulting in the closures of shops, business centers, and schools within the metropolis. The Supreme Court on Friday dismissed the appeal of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) governorship candidate David Ongwadu against the election of Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. The protest in Nasarawa over Supreme Court's verdict upholding Sule's elections. The full details of this story is in page 13 of the Nigeria Tribune. Here with me in another story of the Nigeria Tribune. Shell to assist Nigeria's trouble on shore oil after nearly a century. Shell is said to conclude nearly a century of operation in Nigeria, OSUN Oil and Gas, after agreeing to sell its subsidiary there to construction in 5 mostly local companies for up to $2.4 billion. The British energy giant pioneered Nigeria's oil and gas business began in the 1930th century. It has struggled for years with hundreds of onshore oil spilled as a result of thefts, substaging, and operational issues that led to costly repairs and high-profile lawsuits. Since 2021, Shell has sought to sell its Nigeria oil and gas businesses, but to remain active in Nigeria's more lucrative and less problematic offshore sector. Shell exists as part of a broader retreat by Western energy companies from Nigeria as they focus on newer, more profitable operations. ExxonMobil, the British major, will sell the Shell Petroleum Development Companies of Nigeria Limited (SPDC) for consideration of $1.3 billion. He said in a statement, while the buyers will make an additional payment of up to $1.1 billion relating to prior receivers as completions. Shares to assist Nigeria Tribune onshore oil after nearly a century. The full details of this story is in page 20 of the Nigeria Tribune. Here with me in another story of the Nigeria Tribune. Dapo Abiodun road to ultimate judicial vindication. Yesterday, in a Supreme well-argued judgment, Nigeria Appeals Court validated the elections of Prince Dapo Abiodun as the governor of Nigeria Gateway State, leading a 5-member panel. Justice Tijani Abubakar threw the appeal field by landing Adebutu, the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), in the March 2023 in the state, into his natural habitat. The trash can immediately the news flittered through joyous celebrations erupted across the state. Dapo Abiodun road to ultimate judicial vindication. The full detail of the story is in page 23 of the Nigeria Tribune. Lastly, with me in the Nigeria Tribune newspaper, Federal Yoruba Ibaruba crisis. Federal lawmaker urges harmony, unity. Member representing Irepo Orenlopo Olorunshogo, Federal Constituency of Oyo State in the House of Representatives, Prince Olaide Lateef Mohammed has employed people of Baratan local government area of Kwara State and their Yoruba neighbors to unite with a view to restore peace and harmony in the community. It was reported that misunderstanding among the people resulted in riots, property loss, injuries, and loss of lives in Abuja. Chinkadu Ilesha Barabu Mohammed, who called on security agencies in the country, especially the army units in the area, to intervene properly and enforce ordinances, and said that he was already collaborating with his colleagues in both Oyo and Kwara states on ways to find lasting solutions and prevent the recurrence of such unfortunate events. The lawmakers also appealed to every reset regardless of the background. Yoruba Ibarubu crisis federal lawmaker urges harmony and unity. The full details of this story is in page 25 of the Nigeria Tribune. That's what we have for you in this newspaper review for the Tribune. If you'd like to watch us live and direct again, try to watch us Abntv on our website. We have the www.abntvnetwork.com/TV. And if you'd like to watch us on our social media, on Facebook, we have the Abntv OSUN. On our YouTube, we have the Abntv Nigeria. On our Twitter, we have Abntv OSUN. And lastly, on our Instagram, Abntv Nigeria. And if you'd like to watch us live and direct or to review and the full details of this Nigeria newspaper review, you can watch us there on our website and our social media. And thanks to my name once again.
Cultural heritage, ABN, we bring the best. African, it's Africa. Broadcasting Network. Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. Oh, entertainment, education. African Broadcasting Network. Oh yeah. Oh, information. ABN, celebrating Africa's rich cultural heritage.
bàbá Ọlọ́run mi ìwọ lójú tí mo fi ríran ìwọ ní kọ́kọ́rọ́ tí mo fi ṣílẹ̀kùn ìwọ lóore tí mo ń kọ́ iná ayé ẹ̀ jẹ́ kó jó mi kí ni mo ní tí mo lè mú wá o mo wọlé ní iyọ̀ bàbá Ọlọ́run mi.
Soir et raconte tout le verre ya kweme mi kavore ikwemena mi juwe ogene woyaro mi wome woyu sabe no riekeji wonle mi soir et raconte tout le verre yakmeme mi kavore ikwemena mi juwe ogene
Magic